Shalom, family. Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb, as always, forever and forevermore. You know, we make statements, statements we stand by, statements we don't want to stand by. Some statements we act like we didn't even make, statements to authority, statements to God, statements to your relatives. We all make statements. You know, one of the boldest statements I've ever made in my life, a couple of bold ones. And I made this statement 3 years ago, give or take. And the statement was clear and bold and quite horrifying. I said that I will never make God a lie, and he will never make me a lie. You have no idea how far I was going out on the limb there. I mean, if you don't understand that, what type of question or what type of statement that is in the face of the most powerful being in whatever he came from. It's way beyond the universe. I put him on the spot. I put him on the spot. And I knew I did. I knew I did. And I was horrified. Because I understood the day that I say something and he not backing it, this whole thing is over. This whole thing is over. The whole thing is over. I mean, in terms of belief and making you believe and making you understand and making you have faith, all is lost. All is lost. I mean, don't get me wrong. We could still beat you into submission, but that's not how it goes. God, it could have long ago beaten you into submission. I myself have told God to give me 3 weeks with them, and I'll have them beating your door down. You're gonna have so many prayers coming up from newly converted people. I mean, they're gonna arrive on your doorstep converted with one prayer. Please call your child off. We think he's crazy in a good kind of way. No, not really, because he's down there, he's doing stuff down there. At any rate, one of the boldest statements I've ever made. It scared the hell out of me. It scared the hell out of me. God had to reassure me. He really did, because for a couple of weeks I avoided all bold statements, all statements assertive in nature. But then he showed me. He showed me. It was an okay statement. It was an okay statement. Remember, whatever you do or say is in order. You can't go wrong. Which scares the hell out of me too. But probably because I understand, even with all of the power and authority I have from the Creator, that I am a wretch. I'm a wretch. But that's the humility. That's the humility. By your standards, I'm anything but. But but by his standards, I am to understand at all times. So is everything else. Who's boss? And why he's boss? And why he's always right and not to be argued with or second guessed. At any rate, we all make statements. We all make statements. You know, we live in a world now where nobody wants to stand by anything. I keep saying, if you let them get more than 24 hours from the scene of the crime, they didn't do it. I do not care if you got the smoking gun and the body and the gunpowder residue all over their fingers. They're gonna plead not guilty. They're gonna plead not guilty. So, and this is a fact legally, legally, and they still plead not guilty. It's beyond me. I'm the type of guy. If I did it, I did it. We ain't gonna waste the court's time here. You know I did it. The police know that it was me. The victim picked out a damn good photograph. I probably should have done more to avoid that, but I'm guilty. Why waste the court's time? But they will waste the court's time. You know, it's a strange irony that the very people who create the law would politically seek to subvert the law. Subvert it. At this point, it is subversion of the law. Pretty much all of it. What is America? I don't know anymore. I mean, but anyway, just consider the last 750 words or so preliminary. Here's what I really want to talk about. Here's what I really want to talk about. You know, I said before, there can only be one. That's not a colloquial statement. It's not. That statement is not made euphemistically. This is a more than a assertive stance. There can only be one. Now, what has America become? With that in mind, they said that it was built as a Christian country. A Christian country. And then their later children would say that the Constitution and the founding documents are dead rather than living, and that life has moved on. We on some different stuff now. Now, while all of this has transpired, excuse me, while all of this has transpired in America, the godlessness, the shrinking of the church, the wanton rise in all things immoral under the guise of freedom. The most important freedom that this country has is not privacy. It's not the First Amendment or the Second Amendment or the Third Amendment or the Fourth Amendment, baby. It is the freedom and right to be lascivious. That's it. It is the right to be lascivious. They've lost every other right, every right that I just named. Just a couple of seconds ago, they already gave those away. Not only for themselves, but for you too. The only freedom that they have is the right to be lascivious, carnal, fleshly. You can tell them I said it. But how did you get here? I love this game here. How did you get here? How did we get here? Can we be frank? I'm going to be me. You be frank. Okay? I sit here and I talk at the window and I talk at the wall. Man, I would love to have Frank here right now. His input would be tremendously appreciated. Some give and take finally. I force you guys to only hear me. I force you to listen to me. I do. I don't mean to use the word. The only word that I can use is force. I assert myself upon you. I don't ask you if I can come in. At any rate, how do we get here? Well, you started out as Christian, okay? But you needed citizens. For some reason, the natural growth rate was not enough for you. But along the other lines of that, the more people came, the more money other people made. Okay? A market. A market. This is a priority for the growth of the country, they say. But here's a downside. Each generation of migrants, and they themselves are also migrants, don't forget this. Don't forget this. They each bring their version or their understanding of God or gods with them. And might I add, if they do believe in a God outside of my God, then may I also proffer the opposing view. Then they must have brought demons with them too. If they brought God, then demons followed them, guaranteed. Well, at least that's what I had to believe theologically, biblically, God's word. So if they brought their own God, then they brought their own demons. This is more than just a theoretical standpoint. This is a fact. This is a fact. So successive generations of immigrants, which is what the country is built on. So anyone, don't be offended by the term immigrant. Shit, who here ain't an immigrant? Quit playing with yourself. You only have let other immigrants be up above you as the immigrant, and now you want us as black people to respect the very social structure and standard that you live in, maintain, and they created. Well, we don't. But not to get off the beaten path. If they brought their gods, then they brought demons. Now, what did I say? There can only be one. Only be one. And at this point, it's all really stupid. I mean, it's stupid. What God has I not attacked? I've been kind. I've been very, very, very kind here. Okay? But don't rely on my self-control. Don't rely on my self-control. So how many different gods or versions of gods do we have here now? Well, we have three outside of the Creator. They even are building monuments unto themselves in the middle of Babylon while God watching as the wind do what I say do. Where is their God? As the wind moves with my voice. Where is their God? You know, I could take this breeze and blow the whole fucking street away. All it takes is 110 miles an hour in a straight line. Well, a few, not quite the straight line. I'm gonna have to do something fancy, but it can be done. The point is, where is their God? Though, I mean, it is so insulting. And I mean, I'm trying to give both you and your God a chance. This is why I'm not gonna go too hard. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I really don't. I really don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to have your children thinking that there's something wrong with mom and dad because they're crazy as fuck. They got to be crazy. How many more candles are they going to burn? Now, we're going to just stop right. I mean, right about that. Because, again, I don't want to be insulting. But there can only be one. So you build unto yourself statues. They tell me now that they're going to build one that's bigger than the Statue of Liberty. Now, we didn't come to do battle with no damn statue. And unless the sculptors, I guess that's what they're called, are going to put the God inside of the stone, inside of the steel, or whatever material, let me just put this way. There is no God for you. It is a statue. I mean, you know how many statues that I've disrespected? I mean, I'm about to make a confession. I have peed on the foot of some of the most famous statues, at least a couple. Yeah, they written down in history, and they made unto themselves a bust with legs and a chest. Guess what I did? I walked right up and pissed on it. It didn't kick me off or nothing. It didn't even protest. It did absolutely nothing. Now, I suspect that your golden statue or brass statue, it's going to be the same way. I mean, what more do we have to do here? We've assessed the so-called God of the storm. We have asserted against the so-called God of fertility. I mean, what do we have to do here? Do we have to make this personal? Do we have to make it personal? Listen, this is America. I don't know why everyone comes here, and this is not against you, immigrant. No, this is a mindset on the world stage. That's how you know that is actually one of the devil. Man, don't think like that. What you think? They made 1,000 phone calls with 1,000 contacts, and then them 1,000? No, this is a work of the devil to to stop the inevitable. But we don't fear statues. That's the thing. We don't fear any other God. That's the thing. In fact, I don't know of any of your gods that's even above me. What can your God do even against me? And I'm just a black man. I've always been a black man. I don't know any other way but to be a black man, and you know that black man is secondary. Now, I mean, that's your standard. That's your standard. Black men are secondary. But I just happen to be the most powerful man, black or not, in the, shall I say, I think I can say this. I think I can safely say this in the known universe, outside of the creator himself. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So let me get this straight. You build unto yourself idols, idols, idolatry. Not my favorite sin. I mean, vanity is my favorite sin, but idolatry is so in your face and everyone engages in it so frequently that it's just not very, it's not the end thing anymore. But we will entertain you. We will entertain your ass. Okay? Build your giant statues. Okay? But remember, whatever comes after that, you did it to yourself. Now, I asked you once before, how much time do you need for your God to stand up and show himself or to make your religion or your belief valid? Because at this point, we will be requiring validation on the outside of you. 1,000 of you in a room are praying at the same time or whatever you do inside these rooms, that's not validation. You run out of credibility because you won't come to terms with what you don't believe, but your eyes openly see and your head and heart and spirit openly hear. So you have no more credibility. We require the validation of your belief of your God by your God. But we will allow you this much latitude. How much time do you need? The rest of the year? Half of January? January 31st? Because somewhere up in here, I'm going to attack your God and you openly, quite openly. God of this or God of that. Some of them even got multiple gods. And you know what else I did notice? You know what else I noticed? And this is why they call me good. And they said that I had fell off. Sidebar. I had to come to a understanding about something very, very ancient, very old, and very spiritual. See, it wasn't me falling off. I had a visceral understanding. Visceral. And it hit like a ton of rocks. Now, it took me a couple of days to climb out from that pile of rocks, but I'm on it. I'm on it. But at any rate, At some point, we're going to be attacking you and your gods personally. So I ask again, because we're going to set this up properly, because both you and you, God, must walk into this. You must walk into it. Ain't no way out of it now. Just as sure as I'm speaking these words, your God now has to validate his shit or her shit. Some of them even got goddesses. Goddesses. Okay, fine. Is she sexy? Because you know, at my age, I'm just not gonna entertain any goddess unless they sexy. If they ain't got sexy and they ain't classy, uh, well, we got that right here on Earth. One other classy but not sexy, sexy but not classy. God damn, it's hard to get the package deal. But anyway, I'm drifting. I'm way off tangent here. I'm way off tangent. I'm already on. I hadn't already left the straight line of fucking thinking, went off on a tangent, and now I'm on a tangent on that tangent. Whew, I have to keep up with my own thinking. Jeez. But we will be smashing you and your God by name, all of them. All of you, to those of you who have multiple gods, we're going to be smashing them one by one. One by one. Okay? So if your gods and goddesses don't step forward and defend themselves, and I assure you, sir, madam, they won't. I'm going to explain this to you one more time. Oh, I drifted a bit. What? Damn it. I need a notepad. One thing that I did have noticed that in every country where there is a lack of godliness and a lack of Jesus Christ, there's open hatred of the black man, hostility. They've built whole systems in these godless societies, and then they bring it over here with them. But I digress. I digress. I've been hit so damn many times and stabbed in the back and poisoned, shot at. I mean, I have lived a rough life, man. You know, I've had a many a battle. Scrapes. Whew. At any rate, we're going to be smashing your guards because it is foolishness that you engage in at this point. And I'm starting to lean toward it's because you were starting to view the Christianity that you thought of as Jesus Christ, white man. It's not that. And you're having a real problem with it, just like those evangelicals and other white people. And you, sir, and you, ma'am, are basically in this social order honorary white, especially when you're not black. We both know this. And I'm on fire. I am on fire. Let's keep it moving, though. Let's keep it moving. Now, where was I? Your foolishness. We were talking about your foolishness and how you make absolutely no sense when you include logic. What do I have to do? I have to smash your gods. Otherwise, you are guaranteed to keep engaging in idolatry, forcing God to throw your ass into the hot fire where they never burn all the way up. Okay? And they do other bad things down there. They don't give a damn about what you believed in. They don't give a damn about what you believed in. What you think? That the denizens of hell, you think that they are religious? They're not. They're not. Not at all. But at any rate, we're going to be smashing your gods and your goddesses in front of you. And then for the next month after that, everywhere I go, you as one of the practitioners will be feeling offended and looking at me as if I done something wrong. But even up until that point, your God still will not have spoke. And this is why we don't want to endure you anymore. Just call a spade a spade. Say I work for the devil, I choose the devil, and I'm not talking about your God. I'm not calling your God a devil. I don't know nothing about your God. And I don't care to know nothing about your gods. Our God is, we don't give a fuck because there can only be one. And your God has to take the throne from me. From me. Now, if they can't do that, then there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. This much is becoming abundantly clear. So go back to building statues and engaging in idolatry. Next in line, you have a whole group of immigrants here who openly practice, don't lie. Just because you won't say it, don't mean I won't say it. Their God is the devil. And they know it. And they know it. Their God is the devil. It's an open and shut case. Okay? Now, here's what's strange about the arrangement between so-called Christians and the worshipers of the devil. The Christians have been tricked into supporting the devil or the worshipers thereof. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? One of them have to be under some kind of damn spell. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Which rate, I mean, we are moving fast, which brings me to my next point. Pastors. Don't make this needed. Don't make it needed. Here's what's going to happen if you make this needed. And this is something that should be important to you because it is important to every money. I mean, to every fucking American. I'm going to affect your dollar bills. I'm going to affect your money. Okay? I'm going to affect your tithing. I'm going to affect your giving and your funding because I'm going to crash your ass into a wall. If you listen, because you will say, I'm just thinking ahead, well, we speak the truth. No, you speak a partial truth. If the people don't have all the truth, then they don't have any of the truth, and you lie. You lie, sort of like the 4th of July. You lie. How y'all like that one? I slid that right in there, didn't I? But you lie, okay? And the people will perish. You have no... This is your warning. This is your warning. I'm not going to give a damn if you're a black pastor, pastor of a mega church, a white pastor, an Asian pastor, or anything else masquerading or being a Christian while you know what the truth is. Tell the people what the truth is. Do I have to do it for you? What you want, a fucking summary? I mean, from your handlers, you get booklets and you get brochures. Well, your handlers even tell you what to preach about, what lesson to be taught in Sunday school, even by date. Even by date. So, sirs, ma'am, me and you ain't gonna even get started. We're not gonna get started. I'm talking to them over here. You trust me, you in a safe spot. Many of women have paved the way for me not to want to get at you. You should thank them. You should thank them. Trust me on this. You should thank them. So thank them. You don't have to know their name. You should thank them. By the very virtue that they a lady and you a lady have paved the way for your ass not to get knocked upside your motherfucking head. For real, though. But back at these men, calling themselves pastors. Where are we going with this? Should I sit here knowing what the truth is, knowing you know as a black pastor exactly who I am, and you think that you're going to just ignore me, right? You're going to just keep going to church, preaching a sermon, collect the money, doing whatever you do in what you call church. And you think that the entity that dwells inside of me that thinks of himself as God is going to sit back and just watch you do it. I mean, really? Y'all been hanging around these other folks too damn long. You have become officially American because you couldn't become white. Nope, that's impossible. You cannot be white. Too much melanin. But you tried very hard. So we're going to draw that line right there. Oh, okay? You either step for God or you die by God's sword. It's real simple. And this is what it is when you are reverend or preacher or pastor man. You step with him or you die by his sword. There is no other way. You know it, and even in terms of forgiveness, there's really none without shedding blood. We both know this. We both understand this. There is no forgiveness without the shedding of blood. Okay? So, before we get there, the whole shedding of blood thing, because that's going to happen. It's ordained. It has been written. It has been written. How many times do you think that God is going to allow you to guide his sheep into hellfire? Or to look at it in a more pragmatic light, how many more times is God going to allow you to put him in a position of hearing one of his sheep say, but he told me, but he said that. And now we have to rejudge the whole situation, because that makes it where ain't nobody guilty of a motherfucking thing as long as everybody going around believing and being taught by everybody else. I don't know how you judge. I don't know how you judging such a situation and such a dynamic where each and every last one of them can basically say that I was lied to. I was misled. I was misdirected. Pastor JoJo has said this. Pastor Joan has said that. And now they stand before the Lord on Judgment Day, and they really think their argument is going to hold, but on their chest lies their sin. For the whole other universe, let's just say on full display. And they'll still make this stupid ass argument as if the angels lie. When the angels bring their books, there's their history, and they don't lie. And they will still make that argument. And that is because you want to believe what you want to believe in the face of the fucking reality. So we're going to have to help you smash your reality. This is why I say pastors, mega churches, those who have other beliefs, then you probably ought to leave right about now. Because this is going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. And I haven't even got to the guys in Minnesota. See, I let them know last summer, just because I haven't spoken on you, don't you ever, ever, ever believe that we somehow fear you. Or in the alternative, if your God is different from the one I believe in, the one that gives me all of this power, apparently over your God too, because if you don't believe in my God, then you are the enemy and so is your God. Don't make me call you out. Don't make me do you like that. Don't make me put you in the position, the political position and the spiritual position of feeling like you have to do some stupid shit that's going to kick off some more stupid shit. Because that's how you think. That's how you think. You will take the insult meant for your God. You will take the insult meant for your God. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've already named three different types of characters. Each of them came with their own gods, and each of them brought along with them their own cultural beliefs as well as their demons. So now, entities like me who work who work for God have to work harder than we otherwise would have ever had to work. We got to battle demons that we ain't even ever heard their name. Some of them even dress funny. Some of them dress funny. Some of them got multiple limbs. You see where I'm going with all of this? You see where I'm going with all of this? So before this goes any further and we sink further into a religious attack, I even called you a religion. I just called you a religion. And what did I say about religion? We don't give a fuck about your religion. Either it stands or it falls. Either it stands or it falls. It fights or it fails. And if you continue to believe or put forth idols, then we have no choice but to attack your idols. Are they going to walk around with 6 foot long? Man, we already dealt with giants. We made short work of the giants. They thought the same thing. They had mighty gods too. They did think of themselves as some kind of gods, but believe me, when the rubber hit the road, they ass understood. They were asking all kinds of questions in a pleading way. I mean, they were asking things like, why does he hate us? Why does he want to hurt us? What did we create ourselves? Are we our own fathers? There's no way that we can, what was the words that they used? Lord, don't fail me now. We ain't got but 65 or 70 seconds here. Oh, man, I can't think of the words the giant used, but he was saying, if you're going to destroy us, I mean, then they want an explanation here's my point. Once they realized that there was nothing else they could do, there was no way they could survive what the angels was bringing on that ass. And when they finally come to that conclusion, then the pleading started, the pleading for understanding. I say that to say this. I suspect that you or your God or you and your God will come to the same conclusion. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Source. I am 7. I am 1.